And welcome everyone to the Conscious Capitalist Podcast. I'll be sharing ways to increase your profitability and operational efficiency while improving your company culture, whether your employees are all remote or in person. I'm a best-selling author, speaker, and a profit coach, and I'm really excited to introduce someone who needs no further introduction, JT Foxx. He's the world's #1 wealth and business coach, a serial entrepreneur, private equity investor, and a best-selling author. Welcome, JT.
Welcome. Thank you so much for being on your show. I've actually heard your show. It's actually extremely good. So when they said to me I could be on your show, I jumped at the opportunity. I thought it was very good. But I've known you for a while now. You're natural at this as well. And it's a great name and it's a great show. It's a great concept. And, when someone said you want to be on the show, I'm like, man, I like that show. So I thought, and I've heard a lot of very good positive feedback. So congratulations. I don't always get feedback on mine, but for some reason people talk about yours.
Well, thank you for saying that, JT. You've been so incredibly successful in all of your businesses. Do you think it's possible that business and capitalism will evolve in a new way after this whole COVID-19 is over?
Oh, I think we're all starting at an even point. I think experience means nothing. What you did 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 1 year ago, people want to know what you did now. Because I think when this is over, we're all starting at the exact same point. And it's going to be a race to re-engage your customers. If we can't fulfill them, they'll go elsewhere. It's going to be the wild, wild west of opportunities. I think more opportunities are going to be set up in the next 6 to 8 months than ever before. And I think there's going to be a restabilization the following year. I think it's like planted those roots and then it's going to build up from there. So this is about laying the foundation, working, getting as many relationships. But after that, it'll stable off next year in 2021 for sure.
Well, I agree with you 100%. It really is an incredible opportunity. It doesn't have to be a disaster, even if it's a disaster for a certain number of people. But so, JT, what are the steps you're actually taking right now with your employees to maintain that company culture?
Well, it's hard because everybody's at home. And obviously, unfortunately, right now, it has to be profits over people. Because if there's no profits, there'll be no business, or at least a break even. Some countries like the United States have given some really great incentives. Other people, not so much. And it's hard. I don't think there's a culture. I think keeping their job and will they have a job when this all is over is probably stronger now than anything. I hate to say this, but we're not even come together if you really think about it, because everyone's on their own. It's us versus the world. It's their positioning, not that. So I think it's been more of that survivalist. And because I think people are not worried about culture right now, even though it's important. They're worried about making money, surviving. How long is this going to last? I mean, if there was a date where everyone knew, then there'd be something to strive for. But we're like driving in the dark with one small flashlight is how I would describe this.
Wow, yeah. But so JT, a businessman like yourself, you've made money in down markets, in the recession, and we're clearly heading towards something that's quite dramatic, even following this short time period where COVID is so active. What are the first things you would do if you had to start everything all over from scratch?
Well, that's what I've really been doing now. So I'm going back. I think I'm working harder than I did. That's number one. I'm calling a lot of clients. I'm building relationships. To be honest with you, this was 2.5 weeks ago. There's no way I would have ever been on your show. I would have been too busy. And now this becomes a priority, and being there for clients like yourself. And I never would have. My schedule was so packed, traveling different country every day. So now you have time to do this as well. You have time to be strategic, fix every system, organize your marketing. So once it's up and going, this is like fixing your car. If you're F1, making sure that all the pieces are in place, and so that when it's up and running, you're in pole position. This is why they need to work with people like you to look at every stone from an outside perspective, create efficiency. This is a time where when people work with you, it's not costing them money. You could save them millions of dollars and set them up. The worst thing is people can cut on people like you, on the coaching, on the marketing, the branding, the relationship, because that's like being on life support and cutting the oxygen, and eventually you'll just die and get gobbled up by the big companies.
Yeah, Exactly. But JT, you seem to actually have some superhuman powers that involve memory recall and a physical endurance I have very rarely seen. But how do you keep a positive mindset to keep driving your business forward no matter what the obstacle?
Well, to be honest with you, that work ethic, and I don't think it's anything special other than work ethic. You know, people say you work too hard, you travel too hard, but now we're in one of the worst pandemic, and in theory, nobody's working, and I have enough more money than I ever dreamed of, so it doesn't affect me from a financial standpoint that I'm taken care of. I don't need to work for the day of the rest of my life. Obviously, it sucks being locked down and quarantined because of that effort. All those people that said work-life balance, well, now they got a lot of balance, but there's no work, right? And my
Yeah.
philosophy has always been, you never know when it could end. And so that's kind of how I take a look at it. It was very well needed. I was mentally checked out, not burnt out. I just didn't really feel the fire. So now I'm acting like I'm starting over. I ate ramen noodles. I did a lot of little things that I did. I'm driving properties. I'm calling old contacts from 8, 10 years ago. And I'm just going back to the fundamentals of what made me successful, and knowing that even though I'm very successful, I'm the world's number one wealth coach, I own a lot of companies and stuff like that. When this starts over, we're all equal. So this is the time. I mean, I hadn't done a Facebook Live in 5 years. I mean, or ever actually. And then I've been on it every day. I'm doing giving content left, right, and center, engaging, giving back, because that's what it is. People are looking for leaders now. People like you, people like me. This show is what people need to hear. The one that I'm on right now for you, because that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? And I think, people don't know what a conscious capitalist is. Some people want to be conscious, and then some people want to be capitalist. And unfortunately, in this time, you need both.
Yeah, I thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it. I have one more question for you, JT. Are there any deals that you regret making or things you wish you had done for your business or in your business 10 years ago?
Yeah, if I would have taken more risks in 2008, I'd probably be a lot wealthier now, even though I have a big, high net worth. This to me right now is my 2008. So I took the short-term approach, even though it was very profitable, rather than the long-term approach. Now I'm taking a long-term approach and not a short-term approach. And then some people, they need to go short-term now, and then long-term as well. So that's that mindset as well. But I actually really have no regrets. If I was financially stretched right now and I was hurting financially and my whole world was to implode, yeah, it would probably bother me right now, but I'm really not bothered by it. I'm really not bothered by it. I think part of it too, my responsibility is to empower more people like yourself, because you have an ability and you've done it, touch people's lives, their businesses, and make a difference. And, you're an amazing woman, you're an amazing entrepreneur, you're an amazing consultant, you're an amazing coach. And that's what people need now. They need leaders like you to step up, and you have, and you are, and you did before. But this is your moment to shine. Even though when we first started this interview, the light was literally in your face. Now the light is not because of it's shining there, but shining because of who you are, and people need you. And I've always respected you tremendously. And even though we had diverging opinions, I'm sure, about wealth and business per se, I've always respected your views, and in some ways agreed with your views. And I think you and I are both a proof to the world that even though our destination are more or less the same of what we want to accomplish, the journey may be different, but the destination is the same. And not every journey works for every company or every entrepreneur or every individual. Sometimes people might resonate with me that wouldn't resonate with you. And sometimes people resonate with you and then resonate to me, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's about getting as many people to their destination as possible. And that's what this show that I'm on, that you have, that has done that for people. Someone said to me the other day, they like your show better than mine. And you know what I said? They said, don't be offended. I said, so what? I don't care. Good. Because I realized it just can't all be about me. And I think that's a leader is someone who is able to say, if someone does better than me, great. You know what I mean? If someone likes somebody, great. And maybe that maturity wouldn't have been there 10 years ago. So it's understanding what drives you and different perspective, right? Not everybody likes steak. You have vegans, or people prefer chicken or prefer a salad. So we live in a world where there's something for everyone, but at the end of the day, the end result has to be becoming the best version of our business ourselves.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And JT, I am so honored that you came on my show, Conscious Capitalist, and I really appreciate what you've been doing, what you've done for me, and what you've done for so many people, that they can see hope in how to create a business that is successful and is profitable, whatever the economic conditions or whatever challenges they're facing. So I really applaud you and thank you for the leadership role you've taken here in these last few weeks in particular.
I just want to congratulate you on your show. It's the beginning of a great thing. So that I know it's going to be a ratings winner, and I know it's going to change a lot of businesses and people's lives in a different perspective. And you know, you're truly the real deal, and it's an honor to be in here. And like I said, if it wasn't for what's happening now, I don't think I would have been on. Not because I don't like you, just because of time wise. And so everything happens for a reason. The universe seems to align itself towards opportunities to people who are open to it. And I'm just glad I did. Plus, I got to try out my new background on you. So
I like it. I like it. It looks
hold
good.
on, look.
It looks.
I'm trying to look. I did this earlier. I don't know. I had too much free time. I'm quarantining. You know what I mean? So we're going insane here. By the way, before the quarantine, I wanted to go nowhere. Now, I'm coming. I'll be there. You know, I would do anything now. So that's a good thing. I think it's a realignment of life and priorities. That's how, and a new wave of opportunity to get ready for it. That's why they need you and your show.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, JT. So thanks all of you for listening to me. You can find me, Barbara Longuet, on LinkedIn or on Facebook, or you can grab my new Conscious Capitalist Blueprint at newconsciouscapitalist.com. I'll be back next week with some newer tips to help you grow your business right now. So thank you all for tuning in, and hope to see you all soon. Thanks, JT.
Thank you.